Hey everybody, how's it going? Mike from the Focus Garage here, and in today's video we are going drag racing. Rather than wasting your time sitting here talking about how I felt I did and what I wish I did differently, we are going to jump right into about just 2 to 3 straight minutes of drag racing, and then we're going to kind of come back at the end here, share my thoughts and feedback on what I would have wished I did differently, and just kind of some difficulties or great things that possibly happened out there. So with any further ado, let's go ahead and start that drag racing video now. Now that the video is over, you probably have already seen a bunch of different clips of me racing, seeing kind of what happened there, and I just want to take a second to kind of dive into what I felt was happening that day. Now, what I did different while drag racing here that I've never done before is I actually went drag racing with drag radials. So as you can see on the rear of my car in some of these clips here, I've got Hoosier DR2 drag radials mounted on a Forgestar D5 17-inch wheel. Now, the reason I did this is because in the past, my car has had traction issues when trying to drag race. If you check out my drag racing video from last year, linked in the description down below, you will have seen that I was running on a Michelin Pilot Supersport on my 18-inch Spider rear wheel, and I had no traction all day. The car was running, 2.0 and higher 60 foots, It wasn't launching out of the hole well, and that's fine. You're not going to dead hook on a prep surface with a 500 wheel horsepower car running a, general performance, summer tire. So with a car like this, it's rear-wheel drive, you need a sticky tire if you're trying to drag race it. So I went and I prepared and I got a sticky tire to drag race this car on. Who in their right mind would have thought that that didn't work? So everybody knows that there's a pretty large back order on tires and supply chain issues and everything like that. And I was actually planning on racing the Audi S3 at this event if I couldn't get a sticky tire in time. Well, on the Facebook Marketplace, my friend tagged me in a good deal of this guy selling a drag pack for a C6 Corvette. He ran it on a Z06 for only one pass, and yes, I know that seems unlikely, but it's true. And then that was it. He sold the car and was done with it. If anyone can relate, it's me. So me and my buddy drove all the way out to St. Louis and back in a day, picked up this wheel and tire setup, and the tires were made in the 43rd week of 2020. We're doing this here in August of 2021. So the tires, were good. They were stored inside. Plenty of, compound left on them. The wheels are almost perfect, brand new condition. And I put them on the car and I did some kind of test hits on the streets in Mexico and made sure that they worked. And from pretty much everything that I was doing, it seemed like they worked fine. Now, fast forward to the track here. You can see in my first couple videos that traction is a huge issue. When we are launching, we're launching anywhere from like 2,500 to 4,000 RPM, depending on what I'm trying differently. And the car is spinning all the way through first gear. If you look up Hoosier's instructions with these tires, they say to start with a 18 PSI cold tire pressure and do a very small burnout, just enough to kind of scrub in the tires. They say if you see too much smoke, or if you see smoke, you've actually done too big of a burnout and it's not going to work as well. So in a lot of these earlier clips, you'll see that I'm doing just like a quick scrub in and we're launching it. Now, we're not even launching the car that aggressively. As like I was saying, I'm launching it anywhere from like 2,500 to 3,500 RPM. And a car that makes this much power shouldn't be spinning the rear tires like this. So clearly something is up, right? So we play with it throughout the day. We add some tire pressure, we take some away, we do bigger burnouts, we do smaller burnouts, and everything I'm doing is not working. Regardless of how I launch a car or the burnout size or the tire pressure, the thing is spinning all the way through first gear and cutting a horrible 60 foot. The best 60 foot that I cut all day was a 1.89. Which is absolutely insane. The car should be running a much better 60 foot than that, probably like a 1.4 to 1.6 60 foot on a 17-inch drag radial in a car that makes this kind of power. With that, the car would be mid to low 11s. My best pass that I ran all day was a 12.1. I still couldn't crack into the 11s, even though I had a drag pack on the car, because the drag pack wasn't working. So after the event, I emailed Hoosier and I reached out to them. I was able to get the original purchase receipt from the guy that bought these tires. And Hoosier pretty much tells me that there is no warranty on compound. They can't guarantee how they were used. They can't guarantee how they were stored. And I tell them, my friend, who you can see in the black Z06 in one of the clips, is running a Mickey Thompson ET Street R tire, and his car makes around 630 wheel horsepower. And so obviously his car is more powerful, and he is dead hooking. And one of the crazy things that we were seeing after this was that after he would make a pass, I would continue and go make a couple more passes, and we'd go back to the kind of the pits area. You could touch his tire and it was still sticky, hot, and felt like kind of bubble gum, whereas you would touch my tire right after making a pass and it felt like a felt fabric, and it was not sticky and it was hardly warm at all. And this was his car sitting for pretty much 2 to 3 less passes than I had just done, and his tire was still more sticky and warm than mine. So my issue here is I'm not sure why this tire wasn't working. The guy that I bought these from, I have no reason to not believe him. Again, I got a good deal on it. They are used, but the guy was a very straightforward guy. He sent me the receipt with his name on it. He said, let him know if there's anything he could do. And I truly believe that he only made one pass because he lives close to a drag strip out there in Missouri. The wait times are known to be bad at that drag strip. So he definitely wasn't hot dogging on these tires and did 100 passes. They do still have little tread wear indicators, and you can tell by looking at these tires, there is plenty of tread life left on them. And it's not a multiple year old tire. The tire is literally less than a year old. Unless he was lying about it being stored inside when it was maybe really stored outside, that's the only way I could see this being user error. My only thought with this is that this tire has to have a defective compound. And because of that, I am not going to be replacing these Hoosiers with another Hoosier. I'm going to try what everybody else was telling me to do originally and go with the Mickey Thompson ET Street and just kind of see where I go from there. Will I be able to do that this year? Probably not. The season's winding down. I've heard tires, like drag racing tires, are on a 2-month out wait. So I don't see that being likely as me getting these tires in stock, being able to switch them and everything like that. So it'll probably wait till next spring. I might be able to run the Audi one more time this year. Well, for the first time this year, so we'll see what that does. And honestly, I think it's going to be pretty funny. There's a strong chance that my S3 may run a faster time than my C6 Grand Sport ran. So that would be really funny if my Audi, my daily, runs a faster time than my toy car at the drag strip there. But those are the clips. Feel free to share what you thought of my driving and my racing in the comments down below. I've got some more angles that I could throw up if you guys really wanted to see. However, I don't think it's necessary to see 16 angles of the same race there. I think my driving was pretty good. I think my driving was pretty consistent, and that's why it was frustrating to me, because last year, if you guys remember, I was missing second gear a ton. And the difference between then and now is I've done all of the fluids on the car. I've done the clutch fluid a few times. And the car is running great now. I never missed second gear. I missed third gear once. I didn't get it on video, but that was just pure driver error on my part. And the car drove fantastically. We drove it up there to the drag strip, drove it home with the AC on, made 11 passes, and we ran anywhere from 12.4 to low 12.1. I think my best MPH was 121, I want to say. I'll have to see if I can find the time slips there. But yeah, 12.1 at 121 with like a 1.89 60 foot. So if I was able to get, you know, a low, like 1.4, 1.5 60 foot, there's my mid to low 11 seconds pass, which is what I'm aiming for with this car. And I'm still determined, now that I've been to the drag strip twice and I haven't got that 11-second pass, getting that 11-second pass is going to be that much sweeter. So now that we've got a smaller 17-inch rear wheel that we can use on a drag strip day like this, we're going to go ahead and utilize it, and we're going to try to get into the 11s. Drop your comments down below, what you thought, how everything worked out. I'm a little bit disappointed, but man, is it fun, especially when you don't have any kind of mechanical failures and you're able to drive the car home. That's going to wrap it up for this video. This is Mike from the Focus Garage signing off, and I will catch you guys in the next video.